But we're, Monday morning, has to get rid of emergency room, we're gonna have blood clots all over. Put a heart monitor on.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to the March 3rd, 2015 Belding City Council meeting. Would you please stand for the invocation, followed by the resolution.
Father, please guide us and help us do fair and just decisions as a council and work at best for the city of Belding. And let us start on a new path with our new city manager. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Here. Carter artery. Looks like
All's present. Next, we move on to the approval of the agenda as presented. Any motion support bring this to the floor?
So moved. Support.
Any amendments, additions? Hearing now, call for the vote.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Scheid?
Yes.
Mr. Lello?
Yes.
Mr. Gunderson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Agenda passed as presented, 5-0. Next, we move into public comment. Anybody wishing to comment on any agenda item, please step to the podium and name and address for the record, if you would, please. We'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll close public comment on the agenda items. Next, we'll move into our guest, who is Bruce Firestein, and he's going to give us the Belding Museum Board Annual Report.
Thank you, Mayor. I am Bruce Firestein. I'm a member of the board museum. And I believe, I don't know if it's in our charter, but each year we, as the board members, give a report to the city council and members, and so you'll be thankful I condensed 42 pages. It's been a busy year at the Bell Rockton with museum programs, new exhibits, increased attendance, and renovations of the building. The Children's Museum, known as the Belding Exploration Lab, sponsored 2 special programs. Deon Sauer from the Iron County Sheriff's Canine Program gave an informative presentation with his rescue dog, Diener, and Greg Brooks presented with his live bald eagle, a fun-filled talk. We're thankful to Joan Moran and Mary Warner, who coordinate the special programs and also open and run the Children's Museum along with many volunteers. The Historical Museum presented 2 children's programs, or several children's programs. Board member Jan Maney visited the Belding Elementary Schools to present Toys of the Past and to talk about the history of Belding to all the 2nd and 3rd grade students. Several classrooms of children also toured the museum throughout the year. During our annual quilt show, a hands-on program called So Crafty was offered to visiting children. The quilt show, in conjunction with the Silk City Quilters and the raffle, is always a popular event, and this year it netted $1,462.85 for the museum. Our Spring into the Past weekend, in conjunction with the Tri-Rivers Museum Network, was well attended, with the theme being favorite pastimes. We chose the pastime of fishing and featured a display to go along with it entitled Fishing on the Flat River. We teamed with the Belding Library to present a program for our community on Gone with the Wind, which was held at the Bell Rockton. We once again hosted the annual Tri-Rivers Museum Network, their annual luncheon in July, and had 86 guests attending from over 25 museums. Our doors were open during the Home for the Holidays, which highlighted being several Christmas trees decorated by local church, community, civic, and school groups. The Bell Rockton inside and out and the museum displays were all adorned with period-type holiday decorations. We hosted a new special event this year called Christmas and Cookies. The residents of Bellhaven, Woodhaven, and Crosswinds were invited to come to the museum. We were able to coordinate with Dial a Ride by a general donation of an anonymous person to give a free ride there. And cookies and treats were made by the board members and volunteers. Visitors enjoyed touring the museum and sampling a variety of homemade cookies and treats. Many new exhibits were created this year, including an addition to the silk industry display, a history and timeline of the Richardson Mill, and fishing on the flat. The rotating display room was transformed into Ralphie's living room from the movie A Christmas Story, in keeping with the theme for the Labor Day homecoming celebration, and proved to be a popular display with many folks who could see it. We had 3 silk girls and a large school of silk, which were displayed in the grounds of Bell Rockton during Labor Day weekend. Attendance continues to grow with 2,225 guests visiting the Historical Museum and 3,020 little visitors and their parents to the Bell Children's Museum. We also have many private tours with people from Grand Rapids, Wyoming, Portland, Rockford, Greenville, and other communities. Museum board members and volunteers repainted the dining room. The kitchen also received a new coat of paint by the board members, and new countertops were installed with an anonymous donation. New flooring was installed throughout both areas, and the hallways of the building were refreshed with a new coat of paint. With donations from sponsors, private donors, and fundraisers, the Historical Museum is able to offer new exhibits, programs, and special events. With the help from the volunteers, we are able to be open on a regular schedule and for special tours. The Belding Museum Board would like to extend their deepest thanks and appreciation to the City of Belding, the many volunteers, and to all those who have provided monetary support, helping make the museum such a wonderful and positive showplace for the City of Belding. And just as a side note, if you guys haven't had a chance to take your children or your grandchildren or your nieces and nephews to the Children's Museum, and the people in the audience here, it is fabulous. It is a showplace for a community of this size of Belding to have the caliber of a children's museum that rivals, and I've been to all of them, Indianapolis, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids. It is a showplace, and it's worth to take your kids there, or your children or grandchildren. So, that's my plug. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay,
Give a welcome to our new city manager, because I see with a name like Bruce, you can't be that guy. Thanks again.
Hey, you look like
But,
Leslie
yeah,
Brown.
all Bruce's.
Thank you, Bruce. Next, moving to the consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda. Can I have a motion of support to bring this to the floor?
so moved.
Support. Any separation? Hearing now, call for the vote.
Mr. Shy?
Yes.
Mr. Lalo?
Yes.
Mr. Gunderson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Consent agenda passed 5-0. Next, we'll move into council liaison reports. Mike, start with you.
Housing Commission had their meeting 2 weeks ago, this coming Thursday. Unfortunately, I was stuck up at Hope North, and I didn't even stuck. I couldn't get my car started, it was so cold. And I called Sharon and told her ahead of time that a good possibility I'd miss it because I had to go to Sheboygan, so. And she said the only thing they're working on was their annual plan, so she says, and that's in the rough stages. That's all I know.
Let's start with the museum. They added 2 new members to the Tri-River Museum Network, Middleville and Byron Center. They will be hosting the Tri-River Luncheon again this year. They're also planning another color tour in October. They'll be visiting the Muskegon area. They have submitted their big READ grant in cooperation with the library, and their Tom Sawyer thing will kick off around Labor Day. So look for Tom Sawyer themes throughout town. And I think that's it. I think Bruce covered quite a bit as well. Moving on to Labor Day celebration. Tonda Rich and Shelley Gliding will be the new co-chairs this year. They're still looking for volunteers and more help and more committee members. They have a meet and greet with area businesses on March 10th, 2015 at the American Legion during Taco Tuesday. They will not be paying for Taco Tuesday, but they will be talking to area businesses whether if they have any concerns or any questions about what's going on this year with the Labor Day celebration. All business hours, and I would assume the public is welcome to attend and discuss the Labor Day celebration with them as well. They did sign a contract with D&R shows this year. It's some other problems with the other show they had last year. The schedule just didn't work out, so they are going to bring back the KISS tribute band again this year. They'll be playing 2 nights. One is a KISS tribute, and one is another band. They do a rock band or other various music they'll do on another night. So that was such a big success last year. They're going to bring it back one more year. I for one look forward to that, so, and I think I just about covered it all, so.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I want to back up one more time. They have a pork chop fry at the American Legion on March 21st. So they're looking for, it's going to be a fundraiser for them, and they probably will be doing more fundraisers like that during the summer, so.
Thank you. Tom?
Planning Commission didn't have a meeting in February for lack of business. And our next one is scheduled for the 24th of this month. I don't know if anything's going to be, if we'll have a meeting, scheduled meeting. I don't know if we'll have one, if there's no, nothing at this point has come up as far as I know.
Good?
The rec board had a meeting last night. There were several things that were discussed. But the principal issues that were discussed were an update on Demorest. We're still trying to work out who's responsible for water, who's doing water, who's going to take care of this or that or the other. Hopefully we can get those issues hammered out so we can get to learn about youth-based baseball programs for our kids. On top of that, we talked about grant requests for Greenville, from the Greenville Community Foundation. I think what we identified as a priority from that grant is a swing set. Other things we discussed with that were a dog park and was it an ice rink, hockey rink that we could potentially get. The last thing, and I got an email from you, Kevin, this afternoon. There's a disc golf tournament here. What was the date on that for the veterans?
It is April 19th.
Okay, sorry, I don't mean to put you on the
18th.
spot. We can get more information. There's a disc golf tournament, and the end of April, all proceeds are going to the Veterans House in Grand Rapids, correct? So that should be a tremendous event for our community.
Thank you, Don. DDA is this Thursday at noon. Here at the depot, library board's still working on the personnel policy handbook. They did make a recommendation for Maria to be on the library board, which we just approved on the consent agenda. And a little note on Katie Flynn, Catherine Flynn. The reason she stepped down was because of the fact is they sold their house and they relocated and they were no longer in the library district, so she had to step down off the board. So that's why that position came available. So other than that, that's all I have. We have no unfinished business, no new business. Public comment. Anybody wishing to comment on any non-agenda item? Please step to the podium, name and address for the record. If you would, please, you'll have 3 minutes. Seeing no public comment, close public comment. Next, we're going to city manager report. Bruce, welcome aboard.
Thank you. I've had a excellent first week. I've had probably met with 50 folks here and there, meet and greet, and try to understand what's going on in the community. I will say that everybody that I've talked to is very positive about our future. They're ready to roll up their sleeves and help and make it a different place. I will tell you that I checked this morning, I have 2 more gray hairs than I had a week ago, so you should expect that. So I'm very enthusiastic about being here and helping out and see where we go, and I think it's a great city and has a great future. I would like to say that many of you may not know that Corey here is up for 5 journalism awards, excellence in journalism. That says something about our community. So.
Thank you. And for those that don't know Bruce Brown, he is our new interim city manager. So, thank you, Bruce. Next, we move into council comments. Jerry?
I do have to announce, I will not be here April 7th for the first meeting in April. I will be out of town. So the council will be aware of that. Secondly, I just want to thank the rec board. Actually, I was at the meeting last night, sitting in the back, and I tell you, they have so many things they want to bring to our community, and we have so many parks to utilize, and I just want to thank all the rec board for what they're doing to bring all the recreation into our community. It's just a great thing, and I enjoy coming to the meetings and listening to what new things you guys are thinking about bringing in, and the swing sets and the skating rink, and so I really appreciate what they're doing. So, also March 17th, our next meeting, I contact the members of the council and also Karina, and I'm going to submit a Good Neighbor Award, or present a Good Neighbor Award to the Belding varsity basketball coach, boys coach, and the varsity girls coach for their efforts to fill the gym. Most recently, they were trying to do a sellout in the gym. They came pretty close. It was a tremendous event. I was there, and they were doing that to just give thanks to the community for the great facilities they have. And I just want to applaud their efforts for it by giving them a Good Neighbor Award, and we haven't given one out in a while, and I think that's well deserving for them. That's all I have.
Thank you. Done.
I'll just thank the city crew for getting all the roads cleaned up today. I seen them all early this morning, as soon as it started coming down, cleaning. You did a good job.
Okay, Dennis?
Yes, Bruce, I want to thank you for your email last week. I understand it's going to be a practice of yours sending an email at the end of every week outlining what you've done for the week, who you've met with, that sort of thing. I'm a huge proponent of that. It lets us know what's going on in the city, what you're doing, essentially what we're needing. So thank you. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. The weather's not the greatest, unfortunately, but weathered the storm, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Dennis.
Welcome. I'm glad you had a good first week. Hopefully they will remain staying that way, you know. Well, I thank everybody for showing up here tonight. That's it, that's all I got.
Thank you. Hopefully next meeting, we're getting the event policy in place for the city. We'll have that to look at. Cross our fingers, we're working on it. I was also supposed to be looking into the permits for the DNR to use the rail to trail for different events. And went to the authority meeting last Thursday over in St. John's, and we're as far as we were the last time I talked. So, it's kind of being tossed back and forth as far as who's going to be responsible to handle the DNR permits for the trails here in town, who's going to hand out those event permits, and who's going to deal with them. So, hopefully by the end of this month, we'll get that all straightened out. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Bruce for stepping up and moving forward in the community here, and for what you've done. In the few days that you've been here, you've done a lot, so I appreciate that. And no further comment, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Call for the vote.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
Mr. Gunderson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Shelley?
Well, let me think.
Meeting adjourned, thank you everyone.